Hi guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and today I will be doing my January wrap-up and February TBR. So for the month of January, I read 3 books, even though 4 are going to be included on this list because I did end up reading a book in the last day or so of December. I was just so invested in it, and it's been quite a while since I read a book in like a day or two, let me tell you. But I ended up finishing that one. I was super excited about that. I also ended up watching 2 movies in the month of January that were new, as well as I believe, it's 5 shows. 2 of them, one of them wasn't new. 2 of them I am almost done with. One of them I completed the series up until the point where it stops on Netflix, and then the other I just barely started. So I'll be mentioning those. And I also got my February things right here. I also got surprised with a book date by my husband. Who surprised me by taking me to the Barnes & Noble that was closest to us. So I was so happy about that because it's been a while since I've been to Barnes & Noble. Since we live like maybe 2 hours away from a actual legit Barnes & Noble. So that was super exciting. I ended up getting 3 books, even though only 2 of them are gonna be in this TBR because I just wanted to read it so bad. I read the first page of the other one, and I was just all like, maybe later. I should have got another one that I was really anticipating reading because I checked my library and they almost never have this author's books. But I'll try to get it the next time that I go, which probably won't be for a while. So, enough of my rambling. Let's get started with the video. So the book that I first have here that I don't have a physical copy of because I borrowed it from the library, is This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp? I cannot pronounce the last name for the life of me. I do apologize. I rate this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I was so in love with the plot line. The couple in this was amazing. I really loved this book. It was so intense and devastating. And for people who don't know where it ends, it's about a school shooting that occurs in 45 minutes. And for a book that's only about 45 minutes, that's about 200 and something pages long. It's incredible. It's like they packed so much into one tiny book. The only thing that I really didn't like about it is I felt like 2 characters were more fleshed out than the other characters, and I didn't really understand what the purpose of Claire was, honestly. I believe her name was Claire. She was the track runner. I didn't understand her part of the story. But still pretty good. Pretty good story overall. I loved the brother. Gonna put that out there. I loved how he was fiercely protective of his sister, and I loved the relationship between the 2 girls. This does have LGBT representation in this book, which I was thoroughly surprised with. That was a little surprise for me because I didn't hear anything about it. So I loved that one. That about it. Also, not to mention, there's also a great variety of people in this book. We have people of color in this book, and we got people of different ethnic backgrounds. We got people who are disabled. It's such a not a fun book, but it's such a diverse book that I fell in love with it. So If you haven't read it, I would thoroughly recommend that one. The next book I have here is A Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. I believe, is how you pronounce her name? This is a poetry collection. I give this one 5 out of 5 stars. I loved so many poems in this one. I believe the section that I related the most to was falling and rising. Wilting, falling, and rising were my favorite parts of this one. I couldn't really I'm trying to look for the word. My brain is not functioning at the moment. So what? I couldn't really yeah, what's that word? Okay, there we go. I couldn't really relate to the rooting part because I didn't go through anything that she went through, nor am I the same ethnicity as she is. So when she was talking about being a strong woman of color, I couldn't relate to that because I'm not a woman of color. But there are a few relatable things in rooting. I'm just not gonna say that I get where she's coming from if I'm not really getting where she's coming from, if you know what I mean. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I do love the hidden feminist messages behind her poems, so I'll definitely pick up more work from her in the future. So the next book I have here, I finished with Lillian Line by Brandy Colbert, and I am sorry to say that I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I was so disappointed in this book. Because the only thing I felt like it had going for it was the diversity. I think they focused way too much on getting one point and one point only across, that they lost the whole entire purpose of their story to begin with. Now, that's not saying that I don't like diverse books. I have 5-star reads that are diverse books, like The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give did a very important subject matter, took the diversity that they're trying to come across, but still made it to where the story just wasn't about that. Like, The Hate You Give has so many different aspects to it, and I feel like Lillian Lyon did not. The bipolar representation I got so mad about because I didn't feel like we knew enough about Lion to really understand what exactly he was going through. There were a few couple passages where she mentioned his bipolar disorder, and it didn't come into effect until, like, the last couple of pages. Also, I would say if you go into this book, do not read the synopsis. The synopsis to me was totally misleading, which probably made me give this a low rating because I hate misleading synopsises. They're the most annoying thing ever. Not to mention the love interest, like the 2 love interests, by the way, were not fleshed out whatsoever. They just seemed like they were there just to be there, and it was very annoying to me. I honestly didn't get why Suzette, like, really had a crush on Rafaela at all whatsoever. Yeah, she's pretty, but you've got to go deeper than just skin deep to get me to like a character. Yes, I know some things that happened to her were horrible, but at the same time, I didn't really think she was that great of a person. That Emil, I felt so sorry for him. Why was Suzette leading him on? I have no clue. It was a very frustrating book. book, and do not make me repeat what Lion said in this book to the Gazette, because I have a real issue with that. That whatsoever. I don't have a physical copy of this book because I checked it out in my library, but there was just something about this book that left a really bad taste in my mouth. That, and it has really horrible, like, not horrible per se, but really bad bisexual representation in there. Why? Why do all bisexual people have to either cheat in books or think about cheating? Can we just not have a bisexual character that is an accurate representation, please? Just because you are bisexual does not mean you like every boy and girl that comes along, or you don't like, it's just, yeah. I did like how she said that being bisexual is really confusing, because it feels like you're just not, you can't put a label on who you like. Like, I like that part because I was bi-curious for a time, and it was very confusing for me, so I liked the confusion part of this. But I really want to read a bisexual story where the bisexual main protagonist is not A, a cheater, B, thinking about cheating, or C, at the beginning and questioning their bisexuality. I want someone who actually legit knows, you know? But it just seems like YA fiction never hits the mark for this one, and it annoys me so much. Okay, and then the last but not least, sorry about the little tangent mode of Little Lion. I probably should have gave it 2 stars by how much I ranted about that. But the ending definitely saved it. If it wasn't for that ending and wrapping it up in a nice bow, I actually shipped Suzette and Iris together, legitimately. That's the only ship that I felt was well developed, and it wasn't even well developed, and it was the one that was mentioned the least. It was bad. And then last but not least, I finished Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, which is another poetry collection. It's our first one, and sadly I had to rate this 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't really mesh well with this one. It just wasn't for me. I think the poems are lovely. There were some poems that were relatable to me personally, but I personally, on a emotional level, really love poetry if it's something I could personally relate to, and since I couldn't personally relate to a lot that was mentioned in Milk and Honey, it definitely wasn't for me. Not saying, like, I love The Sun and Her Flowers. That was a great poetry collection, and I'm definitely going to read more of Rupi Kaur's work, definitely, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully she comes out with another one. So, going on to movies that I watched this month, I watched Kingsman: The Golden Circle for the first time, and yes, I know, I'm late to the bandwagon, okay? Make fun of me down in the comments if you want. But this one was actually a pretty good one, but it wasn't as good as the first Kingsman, not gonna lie. I didn't like it as much. If I had to grade it, I would say it's like a B-, maybe? And then I watched Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which, by the way, had a surprise cameo from a Jonas brother, and I was just like, what the hell? I didn't even know he played anyone in this. It's probably not even a surprise cameo to anyone else but me, but I never knew, like, the people I asked, the people that wanted to see this, I asked them if they knew that one of the Jonas brothers, and so I never heard that. I'm not saying who it is, I definitely know who it is, but God, it was just like, he was the best part of that movie, honestly. Well, besides Jack Black. Like, all the actors did a really great job on this one. It had more, like, a one-dimensional villain in it. And I don't really like one-dimensional villains. So I'm gonna give this one an A minus. Minus mostly because of the cast of characters. I loved the cast. Even the kids that were only in it for like 20 to 30 minutes I liked. But definitely, like, there is nothing better than Jack Black acting like a teenage girl. Just go and see it. See it. You know Jack Black's good at what he does. He does, so I'd highly recommend it. So coming up next is the shows that I happened to watch in January. First up is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Y'all know what I think about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's like the best show on television right now. I just love it so much. So much. If you want to know my ship, Rebecca and Nathaniel, love. Loves. The second one I watched, pardon my language on this one, even though, you know, I cuss on this channel on a regular basis, but that's The End of the Fucking World. This show, I am 2 episodes away from finishing, so I can't really give a good review on this one, but it's okay. It's okay. Like, I've watched it this far. If I didn't like a show, I'd just put it down and not watch it anymore. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Happens in the last 2 episodes. We'll see. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Next one I'm going to talk about is Love. I am to the last episode of season 1 on this one. I don't think I'll be continuing to season 2 because it's a little too dramatic for me. I don't know how. I don't know why. Well, you guys know I love dramatic shows, but this one's just not for me, I guess. I guess it's weird. So the next one I watched 1 episode of, and that's Girl Boss. I think I'm gonna continue it, even though I know it's canceled. No one has to tell me that Netflix isn't continuing it. Because I know. I just like the first episode. It was really cool. It was really funny. I looked at my husband because he was watching with me and said, why did they cancel the show? It just seems like a really good show, but you know, we'll see why they canceled it. I haven't watched it all the way through, so I might notice. So last but not least, number 5, the one that I like legit watched through January that I loved to pieces was Black Mirror. If you guys do not know what Black Mirror is, it's an anthology series on Netflix. If you don't like 1 episode of it, good news, there is a different storyline and different cast in every single episode. So if there's an actor you don't like, you don't have to deal with them for that long. It's perfect. It really makes me question the world and technology and what we're really doing to ourselves. And it also, and the other spectrum of it also makes me hate things sometimes. But it's a perfect mix and make you hate things, make you love things, make you think about things. If I had to pick 1 episode that was my favorite, it's definitely, Well, it was the Bryce Dallas Howard episode. I have to pull it up and see what the name of it was. Because I know I'm gonna regret it if I don't. Black Mirror, where are you? This video's gonna be so long. It's Nosedive. Nosedive is the best Black Mirror episode in my personal opinion, because it's so underrated. A lot of people say the entire history of You's their favorite. I'm not really the hugest fan of the entire history of You, honestly. I was like, I like Nosedive a little bit more. And probably because I like Bryce Dallas Howard, I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. I can't wait until season 5, even though they just barely released season 4 in December. Gonna be waiting, Black Mirror. Gonna be waiting. So, on to my next portion. I'm gonna be quickly doing what I'm doing for February. I'll pick my TBR jar challenge later because I forgot what I needed downstairs, and I'm too lazy to go get it right now. But I did complete my challenge though of reading a book about a mental illness because Llewellyn Lion has bipolar disorder, even if it's not that great representation of bipolar disorder, but it still does have it. So the first book I have here is one that I've been anticipating. Well, a lot of these books I've been anticipating. Like, I am so happy to get them. So the first book I have here is Love, Hate, and Other Filters by Samara Ahmed. Yeah, I think it's how you say her name. Samara Ahmed. And I don't know a lot about this book. I know a little bit of the synopsis. I know it's about a Muslim American teen whose life is thrown through a loop when a terrorist attack happens in a city near her, and the person who's a terrorist shares the last name with her. So I hope this is just as good as The Hate You Give. I don't know a lot about Muslim culture, so I'm looking forward to researching it a little bit more. That and her, as far from what I know so far, her family is also from India in this book, and I love some of Indian culture. Whenever I was in middle school, I had a teacher that was from India as well. So I learned a lot about her culture, but I'm excited to read about Indian culture as well. So that, and it's got a main character that wants to be a director and loves directing little movies and stuff like that. So I think that'll be cool. It just seems like straight up my alley. I'm already to page 49 of this book, so I'm hoping I'll finish it. Let's hope. So the next book I have here is Nice Try, Jane Sinner by Lene Alort. I cannot pronounce some of these names. I actually got this from my local library as well. That's why it's laminated. Lemonade? I don't know a lot about this one. I know that she is recently expelled from her school. And to make up for the credit she needs, she takes college courses. There's also a reality show called, I think it was Orange something? House of Orange, there we go. She's campaigned for a new reality show called House of Orange. So I'm a little excited about this one. I've been hearing a lot of good things, and I've also been hearing that it's really funny. What are you doing? You silly kitty? Sorry, guys, my cat was messing with something of mine. But this one definitely seems like it'll be funny, and for all the depressing stuff that I'll probably be reading this month, I need a little laugh every now and then. And so the next one I have here is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. And I really want to read a critically acclaimed book this month, and if you don't know what The Book Thief is about, there's just so much about it. I know it's set in World War II, to, I know books are banned, and now this girl stumbles onto a book, and books are illegal to have. There's also this thing about her family hiding a Jewish refugee in their basement. So we'll see about that. I haven't seen the book Thief, nor have I read the book. Please don't hate me. I'm gonna try to get to it. We'll see. So the next book I have here is Moxie by Jennifer Math. I cannot pronounce these names, guys. I am so sorry about that. But this one, I don't really know a lot about this book. I know for sure it's about a girl who is sick of sexist shit in her high school, so she takes a stand and enlists a bunch of girls from all types of cliques in her high school to stand up against the sexism in their high school. So I'm excited. Me personally, because I am a woman and I have got sexist comments before. I've dealt with them with a lot of class. Maybe not so much class sometimes. There was a sandwich like, during the first line in this book, it's like literally like the first or second line, so it's not really spoilers. There is one of the guys, and he tells the girl the basic insult of, why don't you make me a sandwich? And this is why I committed to this book, because I have had that line in real life before, but at the time I was working in a fast food restaurant. So that line didn't go really well for this guy, because I turned back to him because he was working in the kitchen, and I said, insert guy's name here, you work in the kitchen, why don't you make me a sandwich? And he just didn't know what to say to that. I guess he never had a girl stick up to him like that. He never messed with me after that, so I guess it was a good thing. But we'll see. We'll see about this book. I'm excited to read it. Next book I have here was my Outcrate exclusive of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I don't know a lot about it. I don't want to know a lot about it. I know it's really hyped, and I know it's really gorgeous. So, gorgeous. Not to mention, it's signed. Like, Outcrate is, like, legit upping their game, guys. If you haven't subscribed to Outcrate, please do. It's so worth the money you pay. But look at that. It's signed by Holly Black herself, and it's so cool. Cool, and I know this is definitely a fae book, so if you like fairies, recommended, even though I haven't read it yet. So the next book I have here is a book that I'm gonna try to get to. I'm slowly working through this book, guys. It's taking me months to read it, and that's It by Stephen King. And this is the gorgeous movie cover for It. I love this cover better than my original book cover. Right now, I'm on page. Let me show you the page I'm on with my little tiny Daenerys bookmark that's right here. Right here. I'm on page 429 of this book, guys. That's how many pages I have read of this book in the past several months. Should I push through and read it? Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna push through and read it and get my full-on thoughts, and it's gonna be like the best review I've probably ever done, because 1, it took me forever to read this, and 2, I've already seen the miniseries and the newest movie, so it's gonna be fun to compare and contrast and show all the tiny little differences. But I gotta get through this book first. This book is intimidating, guys. Like, I've finished that many pages, I told you. Look how many pages I still have left. It's just, why? So there you guys have it. That was my January wrap-up and February TBR. Why did you guys read this month? Comment down below and let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!